Tutaj William. Witam serdecznie. Po pierwsze, szczęśliwego nowego roku wszystkim naszym słuchawkom. Witajcie na cotygodniowym podsumowaniu polskich wiadomości ze mną, Williamem Murphy. Welcome to our first update of 2021, in which we'll bring you up to date with the most important developments in Poland over the festive period. The main news stories since our last update have included: Poland enters a national quarantine due to COVID-19 from December 28th through to January 17th. There are very muted New Year festivities, as President Duda says he hopes for a return to normality. Antoni and Julia are the top baby names for boys and girls respectively in Poland in 2020. And a woman is in the race to be a Hejnał Mariacki bugler in Kraków. The Polish government announced before Christmas that a national quarantine will run from December 28th to January 17th, during which time additional restrictions apply, including the closure of most stores in shopping malls. Restrictions were also put in place to limit public gatherings over the New Year period, with many planned events cancelled or moved online. People were urged to remain at home on New Year's Eve, although plans for a formal curfew from 7 p.m. on December 31st to 6 a.m. on January 1st were dropped in the face of questions about its legality in the absence of a state of emergency being declared. On December 27th, a nurse at a Warszawa hospital became the first person to be officially vaccinated against COVID-19 as part of the new government vaccination initiative. A media campaign under the tagline "Szczepimy się" has been launched to encourage take-up of the vaccine. People not already covered as part of a priority group will be able to sign up for vaccination once supplies allow from January 15th. As of Wednesday, the total number of reported COVID-19 cases in Poland stood at 1.34 million, with over 30,000 deaths. 14,151 new infections and 553 new deaths were reported on the day. On Tuesday afternoon, Chancery Minister Michał Dworczyk said that 114,000 doses of vaccine have already been administered to Poles across the country, with 250,000 more already scheduled for next week. In his New Year's address, President Andrzej Duda said he hopes that 2021 will see a gradual recovery of normal life as the vaccine is rolled out. He said that 2020 proved to be extremely difficult for us all, a year full of sacrifice, tragedies and suffering. On Monday, the energy news website energetyka24.com reported that a major Norwegian contractor is ending its work on the controversial Nord Stream 2 natural gas pipeline, in the face of expected further US sanctions targeting entities supporting the project. The website reported that the company has refused to certify the pipeline upon its completion, in accordance with the sanctions and as long as they are in force. Both the US and Poland have strongly opposed the Nord Stream 2 project. A further hike in Poland's national minimum wage kicked in on New Year's Day, although the figure remains well below the actual average monthly wage. The increase brought the minimum monthly wage to 2,800 zloty, or around €615, up from 2,600 zloty in 2020 and just 2,250 zloty in 2019. The minimum hourly rate is now 18 zloty 30 grosze. The increases are in line with Prawo i Sprawiedliwość election promises. The Central Statistical Office said last month that the average monthly wage in November was just over 5,484 zloty. In an interview with the Rzeczpospolita Daily, published on Monday, December 21st, Prawo i Sprawiedliwość chairman Jarosław Kaczyński confirmed that he will stand again for the position of party leader at the next party congress, but added that it would be for the last time, saying, "There is no tradition of gerontocracy in Poland." He said that, "Of course, this is not an announcement of my departure. If only COVID-19 passes, there will be a Congress and elections within Prawo i Sprawiedliwość. This time I will still run, but it will definitely be the last time." Prawo i Sprawiedliwość had been expected to hold the party congress last autumn, with the chairman of the executive committee, Krzysztof Sobolewski, saying in November he hoped the congress would take place early in 2021, but subject to the COVID-19 situation. While many things change from one year to the next, one annual constant looks to be the slew of awards that descend on soccer star Robert Lewandowski at the end of each year. The Pole was earlier this week named the European Sportsman of the Year by the journalists of the International Sports Press Association. It was a double win for Poland, as tennis player Iga Świątek, who sensationally won the French Open women's singles in 2020, was named the Sportswoman of the Year. Lewandowski, who plays his club football with Germany's Bayern Munich, was in mid-December named by FIFA as the winner of their 2020 Best Men's Player Award and as the Player of the Year at the Globe Soccer Awards in Dubai. Lewandowski was also voted the top European athlete of 2020 in the annual poll conducted by Poland's PAP news agency, ahead of Britain's Lewis Hamilton. The 32-year-old striker scored 47 goals in 44 games for club and country last year. Julia and Antoni were respectively the most popular girls' and boys' baby names in Poland in 2020, according to the Ministry of Digital Affairs. Next on the list for girls were Susanna and Zofia, with Jan and Jakub coming next for boys. Susanna had been the top girl's name in 2020, with Julia in second place, while the top three names for boys were unchanged over both years. While New Year festivities in Poland were hugely muted this year due to coronavirus-related restrictions, 2021 is a year which has been designated the Year of Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński, with a host of events planned to pay tribute to the memory of the legendary Polish primate, who led the Roman Catholic Church during much of the communist era. The Senate last month passed a resolution designating 2021 in honour of Wyszyński, who died in May 1981. Many of us, of course, were not sorry to see the back of 2020, but there's been an interesting survey in Poland as to how people view the year, with, on the face of it, surprising results. A survey conducted by pollster CBOS from November 30th to December 10th found that just over 50% of those surveyed regarded 2020 as a good year for themselves personally, with 48% saying it was on the whole positive for their families. 1 in 5 of those surveyed rated 2020 as a bad year for them personally. However, those figures, albeit better than you might have expected given the way the year turned out, still see 2020 regarded as one of the worst years in the last 2 decades, the pollster said. 59% of respondents said 2020 had been a bad year for the country as a whole. The Honorary Polish Consul for Northern Ireland, Jerome Mullen, was awarded an OBE in the Queen's New Year Honours List. The award has been made for services to the economy of Northern Ireland and to Polish-Northern Irish relations, as well as for his role as Director of Newry Chamber of Commerce. The Hejnał Mariacki tune, played by buglers from the Kościół Mariacki in Kraków, is one of the most famous symbols of Poland, and 2021 could well bring a change in at least one of the centuries-old traditions associated with it. A woman has made the shortlist of 5 for one of 2 vacant bugler posts, to join the 7-strong team, which has been male-dominated for over 7 centuries. The bugle call is played on the hour every hour, being repeated from each of the 4 windows in the tower, with the tune being famously cut short in the middle of the final cadence, according to one legend, because an 11th century bugler was shot in the throat by an arrow while raising the alarm about a Mongol invasion. Whoever the successful candidates are, let's hope that fate doesn't befall them. Tá siosco na ten pigeon.